Recording.
Okay, so I'm super excited to have Alexa Campbell on our call this week. She is a 3-star diamond coach, 2014 premier coach, which is like a big deal. 17 straight months in Success Club 10, right? Success Club 10 All-Star. She is also a Beachbody Challenge monthly winner. She won $1,000 by losing 80 pounds and sharing it. She quit her job after 6 months with Beachbody and has been a full-time coach for a year next month. She's currently ranked number 13 in the company, and she's getting married in 6 weeks. And so Alexa and I kind of go way back to like when she first became a coach. She was actually in my Rock the Basics. I think that's what it was called. Mm-hmm. But she was on my weekly Zoom calls. So I've known her since she was a little baby.
Oh my gosh, that feels so long ago.
I know. That's when I introduced you to Amy Silverman's videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll talk about that too.
Okay.
But do you want me to just start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool. Well, hi everybody, and thank you, Meredith and Stacy, for having me on the call this week. I'm super excited to chat with you guys, and I really just kind of want to start off by sharing my story. Some of you guys might follow me on social media, but if not, I just want to share my story with you, just so you can kind of get a little bit of a background on me and where I came from. So, when I was in college, I was in a sorority, and before that, I wasn't really super overweight, but as soon as I got into college, I was all about eating and drinking my face off. And I had really no plans whatsoever to watch my health and fitness. I was just all about, I just was crazy in college. So when I graduated, I had gained probably over 60 pounds. And I moved back in with my parents. I graduated with a communications degree, which is super broad. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I had to move back in with my parents after being on my own for 4 years and partying and having fun. And I was working at Sephora. So I was not in the best place when I graduated. And I kind of turned to food to make me feel better. Just like a lot of people do, emotional eating. So I was legitimately addicted to Taco Bell. Like, no joke. I talk about this a lot, but it's for real. I used to stop every day after work because I had the worst cravings for it. I would either eat it in the 3 minutes that I had to get home to my parents' house, or I would put it in my purse and smuggle it into my bedroom so they didn't see me eat it, because I would eat the Taco Bell and then have dinner after that with them. And I was embarrassed to share, for my parents to know that I was eating 2 meals. That's literally the point I was at. So I finally was like, okay, I need to get this together, So I started to do every random program you could think of. I've done Weight Watchers, personal trainer, the Zone Diet, Avocare. I mean, anything that you can think of, I've tried it. I was never consistent. I was a yo-yo dieter, up and down, and I even got to the point where I lost 55 pounds over the course of the year, and then I gained 53 back the next year. So I was like a legit yo-yo dieter. And I remember sitting on my couch, or sitting on my bed with my boyfriend, now fiance, and I just started sobbing because I was like, I can't believe that I have gotten back to this place. I'd lost 55 pounds, I was feeling great, and then I just went back to my old habits. And so one of the biggest things for me that made it so hard for me was not having any support. So I met my coach, Lauren Kaliski, through Facebook, through a random Facebook group. And she, told me about T25, and I was super skeptical. I was actually that coach who would message her and say, hey, I want to do this. And then I would say no. I actually did that to her 3 times before I finally committed. So first and foremost, when people tell you no, do not ever count them out, because they could end up being your rock star coach in the future. You just never know. You can never count people out. You just have to remember that everybody has different things going on in their lives. And for whatever reason, after that 3rd month, I think it took me, those couple of months of not getting anywhere on my own to finally see the value in what Lauren offered me with the support and accountability of the challenge group. So Just know, I think of my story when I hear people tell me no, because I know that's such a hard thing sometimes when you get people telling you no all the time, but please don't get discouraged, because you never know when those people are going to be ready. You don't know what's going on in their lives. And maybe they just need a couple months of still sitting on the couch by themselves, eating Cheetos and watching Teen Mom to realize that, okay, I can't do this on my own. I need someone's help. So October 2013 is when I joined my first challenge group. And I actually didn't even do T25. I got the T25 challenge pack, but I was still living with my parents. And I was like, it was such a hard environment for me to live there. So I was like, I'm just going to focus on my nutrition. And then when I move out, I'm going to incorporate the fitness part. So I just was drinking Shakeology for the first month, and I lost 11 pounds. And I loved it. And so I decided I wanted to sign up to be a coach just so that I could get my Shakeology cheaper. I did not want to work a business at all. But as I continued to go through the groups and I continued to get results from the programs, I was like, wow, I really like this. This is fun. I want to run groups for other people. I think I would be really good at this. So January 2014 is when I say that I officially started as a coach, because that's when I went all in and decided to stop being a discount coach and actually do this. So, the minute that I went all in, I was all in with it, honestly. I hit the ground running because I started to do some research. I met Stacy through my Coach Basics class, and she told me about Amy Silverman. And so when I was sitting at my job, I was like, I'm going to check out this chick. And I started watching her YouTube videos, and I started to see that she used to be a waitress and was living paycheck to paycheck, and, was able to earn $10,000 in a month from being a coach. And I was like, wait a minute, there's like potential with this. I can actually like earn like a significant amount of money. I was making like nothing at my job. I hated it. I was sitting at my desk all day. I was dreading driving in every single day, to the point where like I would wake up in a bad mood just because I knew I had to go into work. So I realized, I was like, okay, I love this coaching thing, and has the opportunity to really be something huge. I've seen other people do it. Why can't I do it too? So I really, like I said, hit the ground running, and I used my why, which was to quit my job, to really motivate and push me. And it was, I hated my job, so when I would wake up and would get ready for my day, instead of sitting there hating my life, hating my job, hating the fact that I had to drive into my job, I started to think to myself, okay, what is my life going to look like once I am able to quit my job? I would envision like my perfect day. And I remember saying this to myself. I would wake up and I would take Miley for a walk, and I would be able to drink my coffee and read my personal development, and I could do my workout and not have to do it at 5 a.m. because that was when I had to wake up and do my workouts in order to get to work on time. And I can work from my couch if I want to. And I just like was creating this like dream fantasy vision for myself. And it motivated me so much. And it made me excited to wake up. Even though I hated my job, it made me excited to wake up and work hard as a coach, because I saw this vision and I was going for it. So after 6 months of working my business, I was able to quit my job and replace my full-time income at my desk job with coaching. And, since then, it's just been completely crazy. I don't know. I just am in awe that everybody isn't a Beachbody coach, because my life now is 100% different from what it was just 1 year ago. I was sitting today, because it's rainy in Seattle. I had my coffee, and I was sitting, with my fuzzy blanket with Miley on my computer working. And I was like, wow, this is the life that I wanted for myself a year ago. I was like, I kind of was just like looked around. I was like, wow, you know what I mean? There's really no better feeling than to be able to say, I did it. I hit my goal. So honestly, you guys, I want you to think of your own vision. Like, what is your dream life a year from now or 2 years from now? And create that vision in your head and paint that picture, and just use that to like fuel your fire and motivate you, So, so yeah, what's your vision? And so, like I said, my vision started off with wanting to quit my job. Now I'm at the point where I'm living in a 1-bedroom, teeny tiny apartment, and I want to have my dream home. and I want to be able to buy my fiance a brand new truck. And I want to just be able to have a big backyard with 2 German Shepherds. You know, like I create this vision in my head, and it really, that's what fuels my fire every time I wake up. So I want you guys to think about that. And sometimes it's gonna be hard, obviously. Like, you know, all of us, we have those hard months where you're working really hard and it feels like your wheels are spinning. But just know that, just remember your vision. Remember what your ideal life is going to look like. Because if you're just consistent with this stuff, if you just keep going and not give up, a year from now, you'll be able to look back and be like, wow, I did it. So you really have to live like no one else will right now so that you can live like no one else can in the future. That's really what it's all about. And so how do you do this? How do you reach this goal of making your vision a reality? Success Club. That is where it starts. You have to be consistent with hitting this goal, no matter what. Your business isn't going to be anything if you don't make that your non-negotiable goal. So Lauren told me about that when I first got started, and I made it my goal to help at least 5 people every month, because I was like, well, I don't know, I'm a perfectionist, and I was like, forget Success Club 5, I'm going for Success Club 10. You know, that was just how I am. And so I've been consistent with hitting Success Club 10 since I started last year, and my business has completely blew up. You really, I mean, it's crazy how different, like I said, from this year to last year, like my income alone has doubled with my Beachbody business, because I've been consistent with this. And, you know, another thing, just to add on to this, just so I'm like hammering this point in for you guys, my corporate mentor, I remember asking him if he could send me some stats about Success Club and how important it is so that I could share that with my team. And he told me that coaches who, this is like a scientific thing, they actually figured this out, Beachbody corporate did, but coaches who hit Success Club consecutively month after month earn 7 times more income than those that don't. 7 times. That's like a big difference, right? So you have to just be consistent with this. And you have to be consistent with it and give it time for the magic to happen and for the things to start to fall into place. Because at first, it's going to seem like, okay, well, I'm hitting this goal. I don't know, my income's not growing very much, whatever. My income didn't grow for a good, 6 months. It stayed the same. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? I'm hitting Success Club every single month. And Sarah she told me, she's like, just keep going. I promise you it's gonna click. And it did. It clicked. And now it shot up in within a couple months. I don't know what happened, but it clicked. So just don't give up before it clicks and before the magic happens, because honestly, you guys, it can be life-changing, you know? Think about going back to that vision of what you want your life to be like. If you just keep going and you stay consistent with this, you will make it happen. You will make those visions happen. A year from now, you'll be able to look back and say that you did it. Okay, so talking about consistency. How do you be consistent? Well, first of all, these are 3 things that I think you need to have, no matter what. You need to have a contact list, you need to have an activity tracker, and you need to have a schedule. So even if I'm not saying a schedule from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. I'm doing this, and 8 to 8:30 I'm doing this. You don't have to necessarily do it like that. But you need to be scheduling in, especially if you're busy, the time for everything that you need to be doing during the day that is going to be crucial to your business. Okay, your follow-ups, your invites, you're adding people to your network. You know, I'm not going to go into all that because you guys have training and you know all that. But I'm just want to really reiterate the fact that you need to have these things, a schedule, a tracker, and a contact list in order to be successful at this business, because you need to be working from lists. It's what's going to help you stay consistent. It's going to help you get more done in less time. When I first started as a coach, I actually, just for my own sanity, I was started to talk to people, and I was like, I'm going to forget these people in these conversations. So I just started putting, before I even was really told about contact lists, I was like, I'm just going to put people on here. And then I just started putting on a follow-up date with each person that I started talking to. And now my contact list is still growing. Every single time I talk to somebody, I put them on my list. And my list of people right now is at, let me see, I have it right here, 1,500 people. And this does not count the people that have said yes and have committed to my groups, because once they commit to my groups, I take them off my list and they're on my customer list now. These are all just prospects. People have told me no, or people who, I've started conversations with and, I'm still talking to, whatever. 1,500 people. I mean, that's a lot of freaking people, right? And it's because I started from the beginning with putting people on my contact list, and I'm so consistent and I'm diligent, and I do not put people on my contact list because I will forget about them. It keeps me organized. And when I come in every morning and I'm like, okay, I need to get my follow-ups done, I can pull up my list and I can sort it really fast and I can shoot them out in about 15 minutes, depending on how many I have. You know what I mean? You can go through and get so much done in way less time if you have this stuff. So if you're somebody who's busy, who doesn't have a lot of time to work your business, you have to have this stuff. Otherwise, it's going to be very easy for you to feel overwhelmed or to feel like you don't have enough time in the day. We do all have enough time in the day. That's the thing. We're all really busy. I'm planning a wedding and also still going for top 10 right now. I'm really busy. And I have traveled more in the last 5 months than I did like the last 3 years combined. And so it's been busy, but I have my vision. I know the things that I want. And so I just sit down and I do the thing every single day. And I'm just consistent with it because I know that if I don't, I'm not going to make my goal happen. I'm going to be still living in this 1-bedroom apartment that I want to get out of. And so I just think about my vision and the place that I want to go, and it helps to fuel my fire to keep moving. So, and another thing, along with your schedule, your tracker, and your contact list, another thing that I think is like a non-negotiable is make sure you're not skipping your personal development, because really that is another make or break point in your business, honestly. Going back to when I first was getting started as a coach, and I hated my job, right? So I would wake up in the morning and I literally was in a bad mood from the time I woke up until the time I was able to clock out at 4:30 p.m. because I just hated being there. And I didn't realize it until I started reading personal development that I was like harvesting all these negative thoughts, and it was like translating into every other aspect of my life. And so once I started to do that and I started to see, I was like, wow, I think so negative all the time because I hate my job. And so I started to switch my thinking. Every time I had a negative thought or I started to think that I didn't want to be driving into work or whatever, I was like, no, stop. You're having negative thoughts. Think about where you're going. Think about your vision. I started imagining my perfect day as a coach, and I would focus on that, and I changed my mindset. And that's something that never would have happened if I had not been consistent with starting personal development. You know what I mean? And that changed everything for me because I stopped being such a pissy person when I would go into work, and I was excited and happy because I knew even though I was there doing a job that I wasn't excited about, I knew that I was one step closer and one day closer to reaching my vision, my perfect day of being a coach full time. So that mindset and that switching, it really made such a huge impact on me because it just made me move faster towards my goals. You know what I mean? It helped me change so that my vision became bigger, so I would work harder, and it motivated me more. And that never would have happened if I had not started personal development. So you can't skip it. I know when I'm lacking personal development. I can look at my coaches when they tell me, like when they're messaging me and things aren't going in their business, I can completely tell the ones that aren't doing personal development. It literally makes a much bigger difference than you would think, honestly. So make sure you're not skipping that. I don't think I could hammer that in enough. And I know that all the top coaches say it, and it was hard sometimes for me to be consistent with it. But you guys, seriously, it will really make a huge difference. So don't ever slack on that at all. So, I kind of wanted to touch on, so I was talking to my team actually earlier today because, April, I don't know about you guys, but April and May have been kind of off months for a lot of my team. Honestly, I think it's because it's that weird transition period, January and February are awesome because people are, excited with the new year and they want to, lose weight. And then we're about to roll into summer, so it's going to be getting better. But, the last few months have definitely been harder for my team. And so I just wanted to share that no matter what, this business, no matter what, you're going to have good months and bad months. You're going to have months where it's going to be like pulling teeth and you feel like you're going to be talking to 5 million people. Everyone's telling you no. And then there's going to be months where you hit Success Club the second day of the month. I don't know why. Sometimes it works out like that and sometimes it doesn't. But you just have to embrace that there's going to be hard months and there's going to be easier months. It's just part of this journey. But you just have to keep going and keep pushing towards your goals, you guys. I've had those months too. And if I were to sit and let the hard months beat me down or all of the no's, you guys, I don't know. I could tell you how many freaking no's I get every damn day. I get so many no's. If I let all of those get to me, I would not be where I'm at. Do not waste your brain space and do not waste your time dwelling over the fact that everybody's telling you no. Instead, use that energy to talk to more people and to meet new friends and find the people that are ready, because there are tons of people out there who are ready. It's just about finding them and connecting with them. So do not get discouraged by the no's, because honestly, it like beats me up inside when I hear my coaches say, well, everyone's telling me no and it's making me feel bad. And I want to be like, so who cares? That's great, because you know what you're doing? You're planting the seeds. I know we always talk about this. Plant the seeds, plant the seeds. Well, plant as many seeds as you can, because the more seeds you plant, the bigger your garden is going to be. So don't get discouraged by that, okay? I have the mindset where no matter what, I will talk to as many people as I need to hit my goal, because it's important enough to me. I will talk, if I talk to 10 people and none of them are ready, I'm going to talk to 10 more people. I'm going to keep doing that until I find the people who want to do this with me. That's what it's really about. Just keep going. No matter what, just keep moving towards your goal. Keep remembering your vision, because it's what's going to push you through those hard months, okay? So, oh yes, and I was going to say, you have to channel when it comes to the no's and the negativity or whatever, you have to channel your inner Elsa and let it go. That's what you have to do. I sometimes seriously say that to myself when I'm like getting annoyed or frustrated or things are hard. I'm like, wait a minute, where's my inner Elsa? Okay, I'm going to let it go. And just move on and keep going. Just keep going towards your goals, because honestly, you know, like I said, looking back at where I was a year ago, even 2 years ago, to where I am now, it's all because of Beachbody. I actually sat down yesterday and calculated. I was like, wow, I've been on so many trips this year. It's like crazy. And so I was just curious to see how many work days that I've taken off, because I was allowed 126 hours of vacation and sick leave for the entire year when I worked at my desk job. And I looked at all of the trips and the days that I've taken off. This year, I'm at 192 work hours. So if I were still working my full-time job, I would be out money right now. You know what I mean? And I would have no more vacation or sick days. I would never be able to take a day off for the rest of the year. But that's not the case, because I've worked hard with my goals with being a coach. And oh my gosh, Miley is like moving my stuff. Sorry. Can you stop? Go away. Sorry, my dog's crazy. And she lost my train of thought. Yes. My work hours. Yeah, so being consistent with hitting my goals, you know what I mean? And making it happen no matter what. Because honestly, I still am just like flabbergasted by how much my life has changed because of this opportunity. So, you know, I really just want to reiterate to you guys that you have this like precious gift in front of you. For you to not take this and run with it and just go for your goals, balls to the wall, you're just like missing out on such a huge opportunity to change your life. And so, I mean, wouldn't it suck to look back maybe a year or 2 or 5 years from now and say, man, what would have happened if I just like actually put some work into that Beachbody thing? Or if I'd actually like tried a little bit harder, actually went all in with it. Do you want to have that feeling? I don't like that what if feeling, looking back and like wishing that you had done more. That's not how I like to feel at all. So I'm just going to put in all that I have right now and go for it, because you know what? What's the worst that's going to happen? You know what I mean? But you have so much to gain just by being consistent with this stuff and going all in with your business. So yeah, I'm kind of like on a random tangent, but I went through my notes kind of fast because I talked a lot. So I don't know. Do you guys have questions or anything? Was that helpful? Yeah? I'm like on a spicy mood today, so.
I know, I like it. Thank you. Mary, can you unmute everyone? And if you guys have any questions.
Why don't you guys just unmute yourselves if you guys have questions. Hi, Hayden.
Say hi. I'm supposed to be in bed.
Oh, we're not in bed though.
No.
Alexa, that was badass. I'm over here like, I gotta go to bed early tonight, and I just text Stacy like, fuck, I gotta go work. Oh, I'm recording. Oh, damn. But
yeah.
whatever. I'm like, oh, shit, now I gotta go work. I'm pumped up.
I know. Good, I'm glad. I told you, I'm like fired up today.
Yeah, you are. I like it. Do you guys have any questions? Ask away. Alexa's no joke.
No, but I'm going to go do my PD reading.
Yeah.
May has been slow for my team, like big major time. I don't know what the deal is, but it happens. There's always going to be bad months that are harder like that. You have to embrace it. It's part of the journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so Cassie is like my little rock star in the making. Like her first month, she hit like over Success Club 20, and it was right? And it was May 4th, and she texted me, and she was freaking out because she was at like Success Club 2. I was like, homegirl, it's okay. It's May 4th.
Like, yeah.
It's okay, guys. Like, these things are going to happen.
I have a question.
Yeah, Mick.
So with the personal development, now I am having like a lot of money issues right now. So is there something that I can do that like doesn't cost like $20, $30, $40 for me to like buy?
Library?
Yeah, so podcasts are great. Like Shalene Johnson's podcast is one of my favorites. I actually would listen to GoPro is for free on Spotify if you're on a computer. You actually could listen to it on your phone too, but it's a little bit different on your phone. It like doesn't do it in order. I don't know why. It's really weird. But if you go on Spotify or on your computer, you can listen to GoPro, which is a really great one. A lot of my personal development also when I first got started was, like I said, stalking Amy Silverman's YouTube videos. So find top coaches that you relate to and go look at their YouTube videos and their pages, you know. A lot of them share their story and where they got and how they got there. And for me, like listening to her story over and over and hearing how, you know, she was able to go from being a waitress for 15 years to where she is now. It's like number 4 in the company or 3 or something. You know, that in itself motivated me to do this and to keep going. So I was like, if she can do it, I can too. So, you know, go on YouTube, search for stuff there. That's really where I did a lot. Go in the back office, actually, under the success tab. A lot of people don't really utilize this, but there's some really great resources in the office underneath the success tab as far as personal development. There's one that I really love called Building Your Network Marketing Business, I think is what it's called, by Jim Rohn. That one I love. I listen to it on audio, and they have just like tons of resources back there. So use all of that stuff because it's really helpful. Great.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I have a question about connecting with people. Like I'm a brand new coach and I'm trying to, I guess, connect with people that I can relate to. Mm-hmm. And on I have like an Instagram and I'm getting a lot of like shadow likes, mm-hmm. you know, on some of my posts related to Beachbody. And they'll be like, you know, spam pages or people that who knows if they're real, you know? So it's like, it's hard for me to know how to connect with who, you know, who's who, and mm-hmm. create a good contact, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I was first so I actually started my Instagram when I started as a coach. Mm-hmm. I didn't have it before then. And one of the things that I did that I learned from Lauren, my coach, was making an Instagram prospect list. So I would go through hashtags that were relevant to me, and I would go through and scroll. And I mean, I'm sure you've like seen this, but you go through and you like, you comment. And whenever I find somebody who I'm like, I kind of like her, she looks cool, I'll go and look at their page. And if they're not like related to Beachbody already and they're not already coach, or I mean, literally Instagram is a gold mine of people who are there because they want some health and fitness motivation. Yes, it's annoying. We have to sift through the rat people, but there's people there. So it's really just about taking some time and figuring it out. I can honestly say over a year ago when I started, there's not such an inundation of Beachbody coaches and rat people and whatever, the annoying like scammer people. I feel like there weren't that many when I was getting started, so maybe it was a little bit easier. But still, I still do it. I'll sit when I'm like just doing nothing and I have some downtime, I'll go through. And when I would find these people, I put them on like a note on my phone, and it was like my Instagram prospect list. And so I would check that, and I would go to that person's page a couple times a week and go through and like their pictures or comment or start some conversations. And just, really, that's how you build a relationship. You can't just do it with one conversation. It takes like several, right? So I really found the people that I wanted to connect with and focus on them, not everybody else, and not trying to like go through and find, you know what I mean? Like I just really tried to find my quality people. And it just, I mean, yeah, you have to sit through and scroll and stuff like that and look through, find some hashtags, but there's so many people out there on Instagram that are there to really like just get going on their journey. You know what I mean? What was I going to say? Oh, as far as connecting people too, and Facebook has been a really big part of it for me too, just because I get all of my people over to Facebook whenever possible. Mm-hmm. So, you know, remember that if Instagram isn't your thing, I'm not saying like you should give up on Instagram at all, but like some people I feel like are way more into other social media outlets. Maybe they're into blogging, or maybe they're into Facebook like pages or whatever. Don't think that you have to like have an Instagram and a YouTube and a blog and a like page and this and that and the other thing. Like find your one thing that you really want to focus on and like go all in with that. So for me, that was Instagram. That's where I get like the majority of my people now is through Instagram. I have like 23,000 followers on there right now, and I have like a whopping 500 likes on my like page. So it's like I don't spend that much time over there because it's like Instagram's my thing. I'm going to be like my master. I'm going to be the master of Instagram instead of trying to be like a jack of all trades type of a thing, you know? Yeah. So I don't know if this is even like answering your question, but it's definitely hard. I understand, but also make sure you're breaking away from the health and fitness hashtags. Think about the person that you want to attract outside of health and fitness related stuff. So are you a dog mom? Or, I don't know, I'm trying to think stuff up. Are you a hairstylist? Or are you a Christian? Or whatever. Like, figure out your non-health and fitness, non-Beachbody related stuff, and hashtag that. Hashtag that stuff. Because those people aren't inundated with rat people and Beachbody coaches, right? So, you know, you have to kind of think outside the box and be a little bit creative, I think, when it comes to Instagram. And just really, you have to really hone in on who you are and your brand and the type of people you want to attract. You can't just be like, hashtag eat clean, healthy, whatever. You know what I mean? Because that's just how you find all of those people that are annoying. So it's really about kind of breaking outside of that and just figuring out who your ideal customer is. Maybe sit down and think about the 5 things about you that you really want to focus on, and the type of person that you want to attract and that you can really connect with. Because that's how you connect with people, is by having those shared common interests. And people are going to be attracted to your story and those things about you that sets you apart from the 300,000 other coaches. I mean, that's really what it's about. You know, I always tell my new coaches this, is your story and who you are is your secret weapon in this business. It's the one thing that sets you apart. We all offer the same 21-day fix and the same Shakeology options. So why are they going to want to come to you versus me? And that's because of your story and who you are and the things that you've been through. And you just have to really hone in on that, I think. Yeah, I've lost my train of thought again, but I hope that kind of answered your question.
No, that was great. Thank you.
Okay, good.
I have so many things written down right now. So.
Okay. Good. Yeah, it's funny, like, just to add on to that. I was like, when I first got started, I was like hashtagging like curly, because I have curly hair. I was like hashtagging curly hair natural hair and all this stuff. And like a lot of my team is Black women. I was like, why do I have all these Black women on my team? Like, I'm not against it or anything. But I'm like, it's so weird. Like, I have all of these Black women that are like coming to me, and they're like, look at your hashtags. I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't even like realize that. You know, you really are like attracting those people. Like, that's really what it's about. Like, you just have to like think about your brand and the type of person that you want to be, and just like exemplify that. You know, I know it's silly. I was like, I don't get it. Why? What's happening here? And then someone pointed out, like, you have curly hair in your hashtag. What were you expecting?
That's hilarious. I had a question. I have no problem starting conversations with people that I've known online for a while or know in person and stuff, but as I'm adding new people and trying to get to know them, I'm trying to figure out how to break open conversations with them. What's your approach with people that you know nothing about yet?
Mm-hmm. You know, I really think for me on Facebook, I think it's a little bit easier because just with like being able to reach out, you can like message people and like build a relationship that way. I don't know, it's a lot harder to communicate sometimes through Instagram, but like when I'm adding people to my network or whatever, I really look for the people who are like liking my stuff, or who comment on my stuff, and I'll reach. The easiest way to like start conversations, I think, with people is if you're posting, obviously everybody here is posts about health and fitness related stuff. Whenever anybody likes or comments, especially if it's people that you maybe haven't like had a conversation with before, you can say, hey, so-and-so, I just saw you like my photo, and I just wanted to shoot you a message and see how things are going. This is maybe somebody that you already know. Or you could be like, just want to shoot you a message and like say hi. Are you trying to get healthy and fit also? Like, that's like my conversation starter. That is like the easiest one, because so many people will go through and like pictures, right? That's really like an easy thing to do. But also at the same time, you don't go through your newsfeed and like every single picture you see, right? You like the ones that you're interested in. So people are kind of inadvertently, without even realizing it, starting conversation with you and giving you an excuse to reach out to them. And I think it makes it a little bit easier. It takes the pressure off of you. So that's like one way that I like to start conversations with people. But really, I mean, I think it just really starts with just not focusing on body-related stuff. Just like get to know people and build a relationship. You know what I mean? Comment on their stuff and ask them questions and be like, oh, wow, your dog's so cute. Like, what kind of a breed is it? Whatever, you know what I mean? Just like ask them questions about them that aren't even related to that stuff. Because like the more that they see your name and the more that you're liking on their stuff, the more that they're going to be coming to your page or looking at what you're up to and seeing the things that you're about. You know what I mean? So I just think like being proactive and just starting a conversation based off of like whatever's going on in their life. Like look at their page and just see like, oh, that's cool. You just got back from Vegas. Like, that's awesome. Which hotel did you stay at? You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. Start conversations. Because I know it's scary, but the more that you do it, the easier it gets and the less scary that it becomes. So I don't know. And it was really outside of my comfort zone to do that too. But I was like, okay, I know I need to just do this because it's a vital behavior and I need to just get over it. And so I just made myself do it. And now I love it. You know what I mean? I love starting conversations. Love talking about coaching. I literally used to get sweaty palms thinking about bringing up coaching to people. And it was scared the crap out of me. But now I literally talk about coaching like 5 billion times a day with every person that I have a conversation with. Because I just am so comfortable with it now that I've just gotten over that hump. So again, random tangent. I don't know if I answered your question, but hopefully that helped a little bit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Not Team Natural, that's right. Yeah. Any other questions? Anyone?
So when you're on Instagram, how, I mean, like, I'm brand new to Instagram. So, like, when somebody, like, likes your picture or whatever, how do you start a message them? Like, how do you start a conversation with them?
Well, that's more so I do that kind of technique on Facebook. You can't really do that on Instagram. Instagram's like a whole different, how you communicate with people and stuff on Instagram is like totally different. I really try, like I said, when it comes to Instagram, it's just about starting a conversation and, you know, asking people questions. never end your sentence without asking a question, because that keeps the conversation going. And go through, like their stuff, comment on random pictures, and don't just say, cool picture, that looks yummy. Like, no, be like, wow, that's awesome. What all did you put in your recipe or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, ask a legit question that shows if you're actually looking at the picture and not just cameras copy and pasting. We all have those people. But they're like, cool, nice pic. You know what I mean? I hate that. But, like, go through, and Lauren calls this Operation BFF. Yeah, like I said, go through and like on a bunch of their pictures, comment, because you're going to show up on their notifications. They're going to see you, and they're going to come to your page and go through and like your pictures. That's how it starts. Just go back and forth. And don't try and do it with everybody. Just go through and look for the people that you think that you want to connect with. You know what I mean? And sometimes the people won't turn out. That's fine. You're going to add people to your list. You're going to take people off your list. But it's just about being consistent with it and just always starting those new conversations. The thing with Instagram is, like, it's such a good thing to do when you're, like, when you have downtime. You know what I mean? Like, you can do it while you're sitting at a stoplight. Hopefully someone else is, like, driving, but, like, if you're driving, you can sit there and, like, go through and, like some pictures. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Like, it's such a good thing to, like, kind of sneak in, because you can do it from anywhere and go through and do it really quick. But, yeah, Instagram is a little bit different. But that was kind of, like, my technique that I use for Facebook when it comes to, like, reaching out to people. I think it just takes the pressure off of you, and it's just a little bit easier to start a conversation if you're more nervous about it or whatever, if you're just getting started with it. So.
Cool, thanks.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Yeah. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys.
It was. Mary, we gotta take a picture.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Alexa, you're like on point, girlfriend. I was like posing, ready to go. Wait,
I thought you were doing it.
Allison! Allie, where are you? Come back. There she goes. Cassie's in bed, so we'll just impose a picture. Hayden, are you ready?
He really is.
Yeah, he is.
He's got a lot of control.
Ready? 1, 2. Wait, where's my 3? Oh, there's my 3.
Wow.
Hayden, don't move!
Okay.
Okay, thanks, I'm done. Thank you, Alexa.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I'm like so random and get on tangents. So
Okay. We like
Good, very helpful.
yeah,
Good.
all good.
Good. Thanks, you guys.
Night, Hayden.
We're gonna go to bed now.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much for
Bye.
being on. Thank you.